All right, Artie, now's your chance to straighten out with Dice. I got him on the phone. Let me just fill everyone in. So Artie and Dice did a show together in Atlantic City. Bottom line, Artie came in and was pissed that Dice hadn't given him his money. And Artie expressed it. I told Artie that it should have been a 50-50 split.
But he didn't make that arrangement.
Yeah, Artie feels he sold at least 800 or 900 seats there, but okay, that's not Dice's fault. He offered you $5,000,
and I took it. Yeah, that's
but you're
no
just
problem.
pissed that you haven't gotten it.
Absolutely. I just want to know when I'm getting the money.
All right, let me get to Dice. Dice probably has an explanation for all this. I'll let you guys work it out. Fair enough, because I know it's uncomfortable to do this in real life.
Sure.
Oh, it's not uncomfortable here at all.
I think it's less uncomfortable here if it's sort of, on the air. Hey, Dice.
Yeah, it's not uncomfortable. Good morning, soldier.
Dice, what happened here? You explain it. You talk to Artie. I'll stay out of it.
Okay, but I sort of need to know what did happen because I got oddball calls yesterday.
Right. Here's what happened.
I'm not sure exactly.
Why did you tell him, Artie?
Well, nothing happened. I just said, Howard asked how the gig went. I said it was great. The crowd was great. I said Dice did a great job. But I haven't gotten paid for it yet. That's all. And I said, I'm just wondering when I'm getting paid.
Well, you were a little more. You were a little
and I
stronger
said,
than that.
I am mad about it.
All right. Number one. All right. If you're mad about it, that's okay. You know what I mean? That's not what the issue. Did you tell him before you got into that how phenomenal the show was with us?
Yes, I did. Of course I did.
Not just me, with you.
What?
What do you
mean?
mean?
Did you tell him how you did?
Yeah, I said we both did. We both did very well. It was great.
Just now you said Dice did a good job, like you were, sort of judging my performance.
Well, he is judging your performance.
No,
they asked me how it went.
Howard, I'm saying the reason we did this show, we wanted to see how we would be as a team together performing, and I'm still raving about the show.
Well, Artie said that you were great, he was great.
Okay.
Artie did say probably that he was just as responsible for bringing in the crowd as you were.
Okay.
And he kind of was saying...
And as a free opening act, he was great.
Yeah, and he said, not only did I accept $5,000, but really, I didn't get any money for it. But Artie also said, I'm going to fill you in on everything, Dice, so you're not in the dark. Artie said, look, Artie headlines shows, and he has other comedians working for him. He pays them that night on the spot, and he makes sure it happens. There's no reason why Artie had to wait. Am I misquoting you, Artie?
No, that's exactly right.
No, it's okay. I'll go through it with you. I have no problem going through it with you. But I don't know why you didn't just call me, because, number one, I called up. No, this is what happened. Number one, I didn't tell him I'd pay him that night. I wait till I get paid, and then I send the checks out, okay? So now what happened is I actually called you, Artie. I was in Florida, 4 or 5 days ago, and I actually left you another message going, call me up and leave me the address for your agent so I could send the check.
Artie, did that happen?
I never got that message.
So wait a minute. So yesterday, when I got all these calls, I just got back to L.A. Sunday night.
Artie, you calling Dice a liar?
Oh, no, I'm just saying, I don't know if something happened with the phone. I never got that message.
No, I left that message. You get 1,000 messages from me. That one you didn't get. But I'm telling you what I did. Yesterday I did get to your agent, and I said, give me your address.
That was yesterday.
I want to send the check out.
But, Dice, was that a reaction to Artie complaining on the air?
What bothers me, what bothers me, I've been trying to call Artie just for that information. I didn't come home from Atlanta.
Artie's shaking his head that you're bullshitting.
No, I'm saying I never got that message.
Look, I got no reason to bullshit him. Number one, what gets me crazier than everything is not the fact that you didn't get paid. I mean, I got no problem paying you. What bothers me more is that what I heard about that the show was half sold, so Artie was on the show.
That's true.
No, but
that's what Artie said.
When I first went on Howard's show, the time I asked you, whatever it was, whatever day that was.
Right.
There were 200 seats left to be sold. By the time I was done with Howard's show, this is why I give you all that credit, Howard. The tickets were gone.
So you didn't really need Artie, is what you're saying.
No, not for that show. If I would have went into the bigger room, and I'll tell you the truth, they were chanting for Artie to come out. I mean, what's happened since I've come on your show is that, I'm getting people that buy Sirius coming to the show.
Right.
Whether it's in Florida, whether it's in Vegas, Atlantic City. all I wanted to do was finally team up with Artie because I heard about his performing ability, and team up like these guys do. The blue collar guys, these guys. So people have been telling me about Artie, so I said, well, let's try this. Now, if we would have...
See, I'm going to be honest with you. Artie thinks...
No, but let me...
Can I tell you what Artie thinks?
Okay.
Because Artie's not man enough to tell you himself.
No.
Are you scribbling notes
Artie,
to her?
No, I don't understand what you...
Artie told me something.
Let me ask him about what he just said, though.
Okay.
So you say... Are you claiming that before I announced that I was going to be a part of the Borgata show, you had already sold it out?
No, I'm saying there were 200 tickets left to sell when I came on Stern's show.
And
that's what I'm saying.
And then what I
am saying, this I'll admit to, when we announced, or you announced that you're going to do the show with me, I got calls to go into the bigger room. Let's open this up and go into the, they have a bigger room there. Either that or add a second show, because there were so many calls coming in. We could have done a second show, and that I would have given you a lot of credit for. And you know what? If we would have done that, I would have even gave a lot more money because you would have had a lot to do with that second show.
Okay, I get it. So that part I agree with. But when would I have gotten this money?
Yeah, when is he getting his money?
Well, it's in a trust, Artie.
You know what I mean?
Dice has actually invested it for you, and he's waiting to watch it grow.
Yeah, I didn't know he wanted a paper bag that night.
But Dice, come on, you work with comics. You get paid that night or the next day. I mean, come on.
The next day, I got to live my life. I got to get back to L.A. and take care of business. That's what happened.
Well, I got to live my life, too.
What, couldn't you get out of town, Artie?
Look, you weren't depending on your life for the, since you said it on the air, the $5,000 I gave you. And,
You don't know that.
Well,
Artie bets heavily.
But what does that have to do with anything?
It has nothing.
It's my money.
I know it's your money, but, I got to come back and take... When I come back out of town, the first thing I do is take care of everybody that's with me on the road and have all the checks sent out. I run it like a business. I'm not getting in my car and running to a
divvying
club
up
15
cash
minutes away. I'm all over the country.
How do you do it, Artie, when you have comics working for you?
You can ask anybody who's ever worked for me. That I either tell the guy who's promoting the gig, I say, listen, you got to cut this guy a check for this amount, me a check for this amount. If they have a problem with that, I make sure that night the comic gets a check.
All right,
either from my account, if I get the full amount, or from the guy.
It's your fault that you didn't say, Dice, can I get paid that night? I didn't know you expected to get paid that night.
I guess it's my fault that I didn't specify. But it's 10 days later and I don't have the check.
Well, call your agent. I spoke to him.
I called my agent 20 times this week.
Did you talk to him yesterday?
Dice, I talked to him. I had to go to Pittsburgh after we worked together, and I called him and I said, Dice didn't pay me. He said, I'll call Dice's agent. He started calling your agent a week ago. Your agent said, I don't know anything about this. Dice is on the road. I can't get him. And I said, well, as of right now, I haven't gotten paid.
What you're saying is that I was on the road.
Dice, what does that have to do with anything that you were on the road? I mean, I got to wait for you to get off the road to get $5,000?
And I'm not. No, when I come home, I take care of business. What's the?
Well, when are you getting home so we could get that? Let me know.
No,
He's never going home again.
I mean, now you're starting to piss me off. I mean, you call me a bull. You never call me this week, ever. I never got a fucking phone call from you.
Now you call me a liar because I did leave.
I'm not calling you a liar. All I'm saying is maybe my phone fucked up. I didn't get a phone message from you.
I'm calling you a liar. What I'm saying is, I called you and said, I need your agent's address to send the check.
Never got that message. I gave you, remember after the Borgata, we were sitting in your dressing room?
Yeah,
you said, write down your corporation's name and your agent's name. I did. I handed you that piece of paper that night thinking, okay, maybe I'll get it, Monday. It's a Friday night.
I didn't know you needed it. And if you would have said, you want to know, if you would have actually told me, can I just get paid that night in advance, I would have had a check cut for you just to give you there.
Artie's saying it's embarrassing to say that. He thinks he's supposed to just know that.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying, what does it matter if I need the money or not? It's my money.
I'm not needing the money. I just take care of it.
He's saying he waits.
All over. You had to drive 10 minutes to go do your gig. I went to a few different cities. I come home. I'm going to cut. The check's been cut already because now tell me you didn't talk to your agent yesterday.
I did. I'm admitting to that. I talked to him yesterday.
Did he say that I'm sending the check?
he left me a message and said, I talked to Dice, call me back. I didn't get a chance.
But that's what the call was about. What do you think it was? I want to go out with the guy?
Dice, it's still 10 days later.
Okay, so what do you want? A bonus?
No, I want my money. I don't want a bonus. I want the money we
Why
agreed
can't
to.
we get past this? Why is it always about money? You're the one that even said to me before the gig, I don't even care if I get paid. And I said, no, I got to pay you.
Dice, when did you get paid for the Borgata gig?
They gave me a check, half the check that night.
Okay. And when'd you
Okay.
get the other half?
Now, I didn't send the check till yesterday because I came home Sunday.
So how is that my problem?
No, it's not your problem. So I send the check to the accountant. I call the accountant. I give him your agent's number, and I say, cut the check. Since I don't know why you talk about what you make on the air. It's stupid. But I told him, cut the check for Artie and send it to him. That's it.
All right, well, I'll let you know when I
Are
get
you
the
saying
check.
that Dice could have made that same phone call from the road, Artie?
But I don't
I
make those
guess, I
calls
mean,
for-
there's a lot of ways of getting in touch with people nowadays.
Howard, number one, I never worked with the guy before, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking, I wasn't thinking anyway. If he wanted to check that night, that's all he would have had to say, and I would have taken care of it in advance of leaving L.A.
Actually, I think this is Dice giving Artie a little more credit. He doesn't think Artie's desperate for $5,000, so he's taking his time. He's getting home. He's gonna.
Why should that matter? I mean, Howard's not desperate for his paycheck coming next
I
week.
just
but
expect it on time.
Exactly.
Right.
What are you going to get me? It's friggin' 6 in the morning here. What are you going to get me mad for? For nothing. For nothing.
Well, for
being
$5,000.
I'm trying to team us up to do giant things, and you're, for the $5,000. How's that makes you sound bad?
No,
Might
it
as well
doesn't.
tell
It doesn't
Dice.
make me sound bad, Dice. It doesn't make me want to work with you again if I got to wait fucking 2 months for my money.
Oh
Up
my
to you.
God!
What do you want me to tell you? If you want to do what you're doing, then do what you're doing. We teamed up to do big things together, right?
Did
We're
you
gonna
two
make
have
a
a
deal.
talk?
What?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I don't know if Artie wants me to bring that up.
Right? Did you have any kind
See,
of conversation?
Artie doesn't want to tell. See, Dice wants to team up with Artie, and Artie thinks the reason that Dice really wants to team up is he really wants me involved, and that Dice's way to get involved with me is through Artie.
No, that's not.
But Artie's afraid to say that, I think.
That's without question what's going on. Come on.
Oh, really?
No, wait a minute. No, Howard, please. I come on your show. I announce a show. When you say, you got something to plug.
You bet. Anytime
and
you
the
want.
show sells out, right?
That's right. Anytime you want.
But who says why it's happening?
I don't say anything.
No, I say why it's happening.
Yeah,
Isn't
but
that what
I.
happened?
Yeah, but I don't know. Artie feels he can go do these shows himself.
Here's my thing, Dice.
Let me hear what Artie has to say.
The room we played at the Borgata last week.
Okay.
I'm doing a show, 2 shows there, August 25th and 26th by myself.
Okay. Do you?
And
think
they're
I
both
haven't
going to
done
sell.
that?
They'll both sell out in about 4 or 5 days, and I'll make probably 11 times what I made with you there.
Okay.
Now, why would I want to do work with you when I don't need it? Why would you want to work with me? You don't give a. You never saw me do stand up. It's not about the fact that you like the fact that I'm a comedian. I'm on the greatest show ever that can put people in seats, and you want to get those plugs. So it's almost like you're patronizing me, like, oh, you're a great comic. I want to work with you. No, you want to get plugs on the Howard Stern show, which
So you
I
don't
totally
think,
get.
wait a minute. So you don't think working with me? Okay, so you're the greatest comic ever.
No, Dice. The reason I worked with you was because you're an icon. You're one of my heroes. The reason I did this is because, look, it's not, and this is what I told Howard. Howard thinks I should ask for more money. I'm like, no, it's not about the money. It's about the fact that I'm getting to work with a guy who is a true icon. He's a legend. And it was something I could tell my kids one day. I opened up for Dice, but teaming up with you, why don't we just go make our own money ourselves? Why do we got to team up together?
You don't think it could benefit you and us as a team teaming up together and doing giant places? You don't think that's strong?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'd rather work by myself.
Well, if that's what you want to do, that's up to you. I heard when I started doing Howard, my attendance record went up immediately. He gave me an outlet. It's going great between us. He gave me my own show to do. My attendance at my shows have gone up, I don't know, 80% since I went on Howard.
And no one knows that more than me, man. I know.
Let me talk a minute. Now I hear about Artie Lang and how terrific Artie is. So I think, you know what? Maybe it would be a good idea, because guys are doing this, to team up with Artie. Let's see what happens. So I approach you. I'm doing this Borgata gig, and I say, look, Artie, what do you want for the gig? Because I wouldn't want to insult you either. So I throw a number, and you go, you know what? That's fine, because the next night I'm at some club in Pittsburgh, and I'm making X amount, which I wouldn't say on the air. All right, great. So we do the gig. All that happened was a misunderstanding of when you got to pay, okay? I took care of it, but if you don't want to work with me, that's up to you. And if you think I can't do bigger places without you, well, you're mistaken. And if you can do 2 and 3 nights at the Borgata and in Vegas and bigger arenas without me, then go do them. I just think you're a good guy. I thought we got along terrific, and I wanted to move forward with it.
Dice, honestly, I would have opened up for you at the Borgata for nothing, just for the story. I really would have. That's how much I respect you. But honestly, the guys team up for those tours because they have trouble selling tickets on their own. I'm blessed with the fact that I'm on a show. And look, 2 years from now, if I'm not on the show anymore, I could be begging guys to give me work. That's how comedy is. But right now, I got to make as much money as I can, and I can do it on my own. And
that's up to you, though. See, Howard putting me on the air automatically brings my attendance up. I just thought it would be a great thing to team up with somebody finally.
But why
the chops to go in front of a crowd and to move forward with me on things.
But Dice, as a businessman, if you could sell out those places on your own, why split the cut with me?
He's talking about bigger places. He's talking about Madison Square Garden.
We talked about it. This wasn't a one-way conversation. I said to you, we spoke about.
No, you definitely brought this up to me. Absolutely.
We spoke about something on the in the.
Artie's intimidated to tell you what he thinks sometimes.
What's that?
I guess Artie's intimidated to tell you
No,
what he thinks.
I listened to what he said.
Today.
No, listen.
No, he came clean with you today.
I listened to what he said about what the plans he wants to do, and I thought about it a little bit. But I mean, nothing is set in stone. Nobody agreed to anything. No contracts were signed, and
no contract, because we got to sit down and you don't just plan giant shows. I'm talking about the shows.
Let's see. Hey, Dice, let's see what the audience has to say. Ralph, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Artie, I love you. You know that. But I think you're being a bit of a dick on a few levels here. First of all,
this is another guy who's owed me $100 for 2 years, by the way, Ralph.
You don't hound him.
Believe me, the next call they'll be ripping me apart.
Yeah, right.
So go ahead.
Dice is saying, first of all, with the team up, it'd be fun. It'd not necessarily about money, it'd be fun. I was excited. I wanted to go see you guys. Artie, have I ever come to see your show before? No. I was excited.
Wow, wait, Ralph, if I team up with Dice, you'll come? Whoa, wait, Dice, where are we next, man? I can get Ralph Sorella to come to the show?
Just listen for a minute. You know,
fuck off, Ralph.
Here's a guy you're saying you loved, you looked up to. It was an honor to open for him.
Yeah, and I did.
2 minutes later, because you didn't get your $5,000 that you would eat in devil dogs in a day, you're pissed.
Oh, Ralph, you're a fucking loser faggot, you piece of shit. How long should I wait for the? How long should I wait for the $5,000, you cocksucker?
You didn't even want?
Artie,
You want me to wait the same amount of time I waited for my $100 that I put in with my bookie with you, you piece of shit?
What's with the vulgarity? Can't you have a conversation?
Is this what happens if somebody's right?
So, are you right, Ralph? You're right?
No, but seriously.
You've owed me $100 for 2 years, you fucking piece of shit. And when I wanted to get the $100 from you, said, get it from Will. He owes me $50.
It is. It's Will owes it to you. But listen to me. Why are you getting yourself all worked up over this $5,000?
Because you're...
Dice is running it as a business. He's running things differently.
How long should I wait for the $5,000, Ralph? You tell me. How long should I wait for the 5 Gs?
He was on the road. He was on the road, and he runs it like a business, and he gets back, and he makes sure that everything is... He's got more people than you.
Ralph, what would you know about making money and business?
With you like he does, so he's got to get everybody paid.
You know what? Let me say this, though, Artie.
You're actually funny now, Ralph. Now you're saying funny, creative shit. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. How long am I supposed to wait for $5,000?
Artie, how...
that I could spend on devil dogs, you faggot.
Artie, the Wyatt fun.
What do you know about making money, Ralph? Go jerk off to Star Trek.
Artie, what you're doing is You're just obsessing on something. You don't give
Yeah,
a shit about
$5,000.
You're getting pissed about it. You don't care about that $5,000. I know you. You go through that in 2 seconds.
Wait a second, Ralph.
Okay, Ralph.
Howard,
Okay, wait.
Howard.
Okay, I'm going to speak calmly
Howard,
right
listen.
now.
Wait, he's going to speak calmly.
What does the fact, whether I need the money or not, what does that have to do with getting money that's owed to me? It's my money.
You make a point. I mean, that's why I keep saying to you, if you needed it that night and you told me, I would have just had a check there.
Yeah.
But since you didn't, all I did was take care of business when I got home. That's all it comes
Dice,
down to.
Dice, wouldn't you think to mention to me, look, I'm going on the road, Art. It might be 12 to 14 days before you get the money.
But I did tell you where I'm going. You know, I told you I'm going to Florida. I said I'm going to Vegas. And then I got home. I took care of it. I don't know what you're getting so crazy about.
I still don't have the money.
No,
Wait.
I think this is more because somebody told me that you were yelling yesterday about I'm not an opening act, okay?
I never said that.
No, but listen to me, and that pissed me off. I go, number one, I didn't look at him like an opening act. We had an opening act. I treated him really special. I thought he was terrific. And on top of it, you know, when you talk about how $5,000 don't mean anything, tell him how much time you even had to do for the $5,000. It wasn't like you had to go out there and destroy that crowd for an hour.
Dice.
Listen to me.
You're really fucking pissing me off, Dice. You really are. No, let me tell you something. I took a pay cut. $5,000. I sold that place out for you, motherfucker, and I did 20 minutes, and you said I'll give you $5,000. So, okay, fine. That's beautiful. How long am I going to wait for it?
I don't know why you're yelling and why you're in the studio.
Because you're
know what?
saying stupid shit.
You know what? No, I'm not saying stupid shit. We were trying something out. I didn't do anything wrong. I came home. The check has been cut. I think.
What are you trying out? Not to pay me? Is that the experiment we're working with?
Maybe you don't fucking hear me, okay?
Oh, I hear you, dude.
I can hear that the check has been sent, okay? So it's 10 days later.
The check has been sent.
Well, let me ask you this, Artie. Is it
communication with you?
Have you ever done
okay?
Have you ever done a commercial or something, and then they send the check to you like a month
couple
later?
weeks
You know what I
later or
mean?
something.
That's possible.
I really
Right.
don't know what this is about. I think for some reason you think you sold that room out, and you want to know something? You didn't have a fucking thing to do with that. So don't sit here.
Should we
and go,
get a guy on from the Borgata? Should we get the promoter on?
Do you think I don't have to do 2 nights at the Borgata? Is that what you're telling? I've been doing the Borgata for 4 years, Ralph. Fucking on.
You mad at Ralph now? I am too.
What are you going to get me mad about? And do you think if we did a bigger place, there wouldn't be more money involved for you?
I didn't sell anything out. You're right. Plugs on this show sold it out, dude. And I'm a comedian who works on this show. Just admit you need those plugs right
I'm
now.
not going to give credit.
It ain't 1988 anymore.
I'm not going to give credit where credit's not due. Okay?
Wait a
And if
second.
was
This is
your
outta
little
hand.
fucking plan,
What happened
I
here?
wanna
Yeah.
see the next time
What happened is I did a
that
show and Dice didn't pay me. That's what happened.
This is what I mean about everybody. You know, on the phone, they got a big fucking mouth, and it's hard to even get through what I want to say on the phone. But if I was standing there, believe me, you want to open your fucking mouth.
Oh, yeah, I would, Dice. Believe me, I would.
Hey, you would.
Believe me, I would.
You're going to get that fucking opportunity.
Fine. I'll be in L.A. tonight.
You'll be in L.A. today? Come on.
I'll be in L.A. tonight.
Bring it on. Bring it on if you got...
Come to the set of Entourage tomorrow if they let you on.
And I'll fucking meet
I'll try to get you a pass.
You know what? What are you talking about? Your plugs. You know what? You're doing fucking clubs, hee-hees and ha's. Don't tell me about nights at the fucking Borgata. I was trying to be cool with you. Yes, I didn't really know your ability before I came on Stern Show, and I got to know you that way. So I said, let's team up. I really don't know where this is coming from.
Dice, it's just coming from the fact that it took 11 days to
right.
get me my money.
I'm saying, hey, if I knew...
That's where it's coming from, nothing else. I don't put myself on a level of a comic as you. I really don't.
All right, chill out a minute, all right? If you would have told me this, I would have had a check for you. Because I didn't have a check for you, I got to wait till I come home, and I pay everybody that's been with me. That's how I work the business. You didn't know that, and I didn't know you wanted it that night, okay?
Not even that night. It was a Friday. We worked Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday.
I've been on the road for, I don't know, 2.5 weeks, whatever it is. I came home, and I paid you. It's that simple. So I'm apologizing for the misunderstanding, if that's what it is. But Other than that, I don't know what the yelling's about.
In other words,
All
Dice
I know
is saying...
I sat there, and you know what, Howard? When I do come on your show, and I'm going to admit this, that it's stupid not to, and I plug something, it sells a lot of tickets.
Yeah, and believe me, that's not the issue. In fact, Artie, I think what Dice is saying, and I don't know that it's right or wrong.
Do you understand this? Why is Artie so upset? I really
I know
don't
why Artie's
understand
upset.
how
But I can clear it all up. You want me to clear it all up?
No,
Okay.
but I want to tell you another thing.
Well, because first of all, he said in the middle of this conversation, he said he called me this week. That did not happen.
Some more, right?
You feel he's lying when he said he called you?
Either that or something wrong with my answering machine. I didn't get the message.
Well, you know what? I did call you. And if you didn't get it, I don't know why you didn't get it. And I'm not going to have an argument over if it's a lie that I called your machine, because I know I called you and left a message.
Well, I have no way to prove anything.
Do you want me to check the phone records?
So I'm not looking to fight over that. I can't fight. I can't have answering machine fights when people go, oh, I called you. Yeah, but I didn't get it.
Well, I can't prove that you did either, or didn't either, so it doesn't matter.
You really think Dice wasn't going to pay you? Is that what you're thinking?
I'll clear it up.
Robin, how long you think I should wait for the money?
The money's sent.
A year.
Let it go. But let me tell you something, Howard.
What am I mad about, Robin? Jesus Christ.
I'll clear this up.
How long do you wait for money, Robin?
I don't understand this.
Dice, allow me to clear this up.
All right, but let me just say this, and then you'll clear it up. Okay. After I saw Artie work, okay. And I'm man enough to admit Artie was backstage. The minute they heard his name, they started chanting Artie, Artie, Artie.
Right, that's good.
The crowd, was there for him also.
Right.
So I'm not making believe that they're not into Artie, that Artie can't sell any tickets. I got very excited. I'm going, this is fucking great. This guy really has a following.
Yes.
Did he sell that show out? No. But did the show come from the serious audience? Yes. So, of course, they know Artie Lang, and they were just as excited to see him as me. So after I see this guy perform, I'm going, this is phenomenal. Let's move forward. Let's do bigger things, okay?
All right, so let me clear this up. Let me clear this up. I think I can help here. Everybody's steamed up.
I've never seen a fight more about nothing. It seems
No, it is about something. You're wrong. It's that it's
Howard,
about nothing.
am I crazy?
Let me say my
I
piece.
think you are a little nuts.
You're right, I'm a little nuts. And first of all, it's got nothing to do with the crowd chant my name, nothing to do with that. I was real excited to work with you.
Compliment. I'm not going to.
No, I know. Dice, listen to me, dude. Listen.
Why can't you take a compliment? I didn't say nothing wrong when I say they're chanting your name.
And I'm giving you a compliment by saying it really was thrilling to work with you, but I expect to get paid in a timely fashion.
All right, but that was a misunderstanding.
All right, let me tell you what happened.
All right, what happened,
I'll
Howard?
tell you what happened. I got it all down here. I've listened, and I know what's going wrong.
I'm glad you paid attention.
All right. And I think if these guys do work together in the future and bigger things happen, Artie can expect not to get paid in the future, and that's okay. Listen, now here it is.
You'll be getting not paid a lot more money.
But yeah, a lot more money. Now listen, let me tell you what happened here. When Artie goes and does shows, he is very used to getting paid that night. In other words, the house received their money. It's not like some other business.
He's used to the cash at the door kind of thing?
The cash is already there. Everyone gets paid. Even Dice says he got paid half up front and probably got paid that night the other half.
Yeah, and the first half I still haven't received yet.
All right.
Because that goes to the agent.
Right.
You know how this shit works.
So Artie, when he does a show, the way he operates is if he has a Bob Levy worker with him, he says, Bob, here, I got 20 grand for the night. Here's your
cutting
$5.
You a check
here's
or
your
whatever.
$5. Here's this. And I mean 500, not 5,000. So here's your 500. And he hands out the money. Now, in a bigger situation like this, Artie expects the same thing. In other words, okay, if you're not going to pay me that night, let me know. Artie's embarrassed. He's not going to walk up to someone that night and go, "Where's my money?" It's not
But
dignified.
to be this upset, I mean, why is he so upset?
Because he worked, he earned the money. The money's in the bank. He wants the money right away. Now, Dice is not lying. Dice, when he runs his business, he kind of gets these guys, the opening acts and things, and he says, "Okay, I'll send you a check." Now, probably if Artie hadn't brought this up on the air, it might have even waited 3 or 4 weeks. And Artie wants to be paid then that night.
All right, let me ask
but
you.
what I don't
But
understand
Dice-
is why his agent didn't tell him I called him yesterday and I got the address and the check went out.
But Artie feels that happened as a result of the conversation on the air.
Of course
It
it
happened
did.
because I'll tell you what happened, because I came home Sunday night from Vegas. Yesterday was Monday. I got on the phone. I made all my calls to take care of business. And it wasn't until after that that I got this news of what went on your show yesterday morning.
Right. So Artie
But let
feels.
me ask you, do you think the level of Artie's upset is commensurate with what happened? He seems awfully angry to me.
Howard, do you think Artie is upset? Do you think Artie is upset because...
I'm going to tell you why Artie's
How did
upset.
this conversation start? It started with me being very calm, and then Dice started saying stuff like he called me in the middle of the week. That didn't happen. I have no proof of that, but it didn't happen. Then he's like saying, I didn't know you needed the money, which is insulting. It's my money.
That's where Artie got upset.
Okay, Robin, let's go to the tape.
Where Artie got
now
upset.
I'm pissed at Robin.
Where Artie got upset, and I think this is right. Like people say, "Hey, you don't need the money. What do you with the?" It's not a. It's like people have said that to me in my life. What do you? Like I've gone and done
Yeah, but he's
specials
not trying to not pay
and done
him.
work. No, I know
I'm
that.
not trying to get away with the $5,000, Artie.
I don't think you are, Dice. That's not my accusation.
But wait a minute. The reason I even called...
Admit you didn't call me in the middle of the week,
reason
dude.
I even called,
Just admit it.
You know what? If I didn't call you, I wouldn't be afraid to tell you I didn't call you. The reason I did call you is because I was staying in Vegas longer than normal, so I was just going to call my accountant and say send a check. But I didn't have an address to send the fucking check to.
I gave you my agent's phone number.
But I didn't have that number with me. Okay?
Well, I gave it to you at the Borgata. What'd you do with it?
I didn't know what I did with it. That's why I wanted to take care of it. But that's why I
These
left
things
you a
don't
message
happen,
to call
Artie?
me. All I needed was a call. Now you're saying you didn't get the message? What, am I going to not believe you?
I didn't get the middle of the week message. Yesterday, I got it.
All I know is this, okay? It's much better to align. I don't even know why we're fucking fighting over
I don't know. Let's go. Well, I know
See,
why.
that's why
Artie
I
feels
need to know.
insulted because people are saying to him, "What's the big deal? It's $5,000." It is a big deal.
Dice, I was not upset at the beginning of this conversation, nor was I upset yesterday. I just mentioned, you know what, I haven't gotten the money yet. And Howard was like, wow, Howard, I mean, go to the tape yesterday. Howard was, you were a little surprised that I didn't get the money, correct?
I didn't know anything about it. I was surprised.
Yeah, you were surprised I didn't get paid
You
yet.
were a little upset yesterday, Artie.
Yeah, but not like this. Not after this
bullshit. The one thing I don't need
bullshit.
to do is hold back $5,000, okay? And why would I want to hold back $5,000 from a guy sat in my dressing room and say, all right, why don't we make the move to this place now? And do you know why, Howard? I'm going to tell you that the Borgata, all right, and this is no bullshit. They got over 11,000 phone calls, and that room was already sold out after I did your show last time. And I was like, fuck this. Why do another show at the Borgata when if everything works out with me and Artie, we could go into a giant place?
All right, let's hear what the audience has to say about this. Dave, you're on the air. Yes, Dave. Dave, do you want to comment or not?
Maybe he changed his mind.
Maybe he did. Maybe he's afraid to get in this conversation. It is heated, and there's a lot of aggravation in the room. Marianne.
Oh, your friend.
Artie, you could call me a cunt all you want, but you know what, Artie? It's a damn shame. How could you? First of all, it's all about Howard, both of you, Mr. Dice and Mr. Artie Lang. It's all about Howard.
No, it's not.
The next thing, if any of you weren't there,
It's not about me. Artie and Dice are very talented guys.
Yes, but you know
While
what,
the show
Howard,
might help them, they're talented.
You're helping them get the gigs, but how could Artie beg for $5,000? You talk about just the
He's not
drunk,
begging.
Artie?
He's not begging. It's his
I know
money.
it's your money, but don't you think you could have given a little time to get it? It's like, it's a disgrace. It's like embarrassing. I don't think it's a necessary fight. I think you're a very unhappy person. I can't understand it, Artie. I wish me and you could go drink coffee together so I could figure this whole thing out.
That would cheer me up.
Let's go to Jim. Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, Artie, you way funnier than this motherfucking Andrew dumbass Clay, so you have every right
no
to
need
be
for
fucking
names.
mad.
Yeah, that's
Well,
not what this is
No
about.
need for names.
He showed his true
We
colors.
love
when
both
he
these
didn't
guys.
pay- He didn't pay the man. I mean, Artie has every right to be mad. So, Artie, you don't need this dude. You can go way further. Andrew was...
All right, go back to acting school and
That's right.
accent a little more.
All right, let's go to Jimmy. Jimmy, go ahead.
Howard,
Yes.
hey now.
Hey, now.
Listen, you know, the funny thing is I really used to like Andrew Dice Clay. And years ago, like, I'd watch all his stuff. I'd even watch his crappy movies.
Why does this have to be an attack on
Yeah,
Dice?
this
Why
is
can't
a
we talk
business
about...
thing.
Why can't it...
Let the guy talk.
All right, go ahead.
You know what? When people have done nothing with their lives...
We let Ralph talk.
Right. All right, Artie's right.
What is going on with you? I think we've slipped into Artie
Zero on the
Psycho
phone
Land.
call. So his friend in another car could go, I heard you too.
Dice, listen.
There's nothing to listen about. You're a zero. You know nothing about what you're talking about.
I used to be. I was a big
You're
fan
a
of
nobody
yours.
that never did anything and never will. So you can't even believe how it has you on the air now. This is your, I don't know, 60 seconds of fucking fame. You zero in the game of life.
That's exactly.
That's who you are. That's what I think.
Well, let the guy. Let's hear what the guy has to say.
No, but when a guy starts a conversation, he's not interested in what went on with me and Artie. He's interested in going, oh, I even watched his crappy movies. Right there, you
Yeah,
go.
that was not fair.
Okay.
That was not fair.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Have you watched Artie's crappy movies?
Have you watched Artie's crappy movies, sir?
Yeah, I watched all these crappy movies too.
Oh, okay.
I have 5 crappy movies. Dice only has 1.
But the bottom line is that the only.
And I know who the guy is. By the way, how's your wife, that fucking pig?
The one
Just talking, because I haven't talked to you for a long time either. How is
All right,
that
let's go to
fucking
someone
pig?
who's gonna. Let's go to someone else. Nicole, you're on the air. Go ahead, Nicole.
Morning, everybody. How are you?
Hi.
Hello?
Yes, Nicole. Say.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just want to let you know I'm listening at work. You guys are the best reality show ever, and I think Dice is a little overreacting. I think he really wants to do this thing with Artie.
Right.
And you can't blame Artie for not wanting to. He can do it on his own and stuff. And as much as he's an icon.
Well, you know what? He's entitled to, but I just thought we had an understanding that we wanted to do more shows.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking that you guys had a conversation,
Right.
and Artie's agreed to something that Artie wasn't really into agreeing to.
I haven't agreed to anything, Robin. I agreed to getting $5,000 for the show.
Robin, I said we were talking about doing bigger things.
Right.
I said, Artie, are you in? And he goes, yeah, I'm in.
All right,
That's all it was about. But you know what? Let's be stupid about things. Let's not align and do gigantic shows all over the country. Let's just stay separate if that's what you want.
Well, this is getting very sad. Steve, go ahead. I'll give 2 more people say in this. Steve, go ahead.
Artie, you stupid guinea bastard. Let me tell you something right now. You're not pissed off over the fact that you didn't get paid. You're pissed off for the fact that you didn't get more money when after the show you said, you know what, I should have got more money for that fucking gig.
I don't feel that way.
No, that's
exactly
not true.
how you feel, Artie. That's bullshit.
No, that's not true at all. No.
bullshit.
I just want the money that was offered to me.
If he's going to be underpaid, he wants to be underpaid right away.
Let me tell you something. Do you think that Andrew Dice Clay is not going to pay you? Are you kidding me or what?
No, sir, I know he's going to pay me, sir.
Artie
I know.
feels he shouldn't have to.
And I do, I have sent the check now. That's why I don't understand why we're fighting. Like I keep saying, I'll apologize one more time. If I would have known that I'm not going to do it in an antagonistic way. If you wanted that money that night, because we discussed the money, and you said something to me, I just would have had a check cut to bring with me. But I didn't have checks to bring with me. I get paid at.
Is that fair, Artie? Is that a fair statement from Dice?
I wasn't looking to snub the guy.
Artie, why is that not
No,
fair?
I mean, I expected to get paid. Honestly, I expected to get paid that night,
But I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
Maybe he has a different business procedure that you're just becoming aware of.
I started this trip. I did the Mandalay Bay in Vegas, came back to New York for Borgata, then went to Florida for shows, and then went back to Mandalay Bay. I took care of this on Monday, which was yesterday, and it had nothing at all to do with what you were yelling about on the air. I mean, it's just how
I wasn't yelling about anything. I mentioned it that I didn't get paid yet, and Howard found it surprising that I didn't get paid yet.
Yeah, but you know what? Howard didn't do the gig. This was our thing. And you could have called me and left me a message going, Dice, even after a week.
No, you said to me you were surprised you didn't get paid.
We wouldn't have known you hadn't gotten paid unless you brought it up.
No, I said I haven't gotten paid yet.
Right.
And you were like,
upset
did
about
Dice get paid? I'm like, I think so.
What
Just
I'm saying,
asking?
Artie, if it bothered you at all, you could have just left me a message going, Dice, I haven't received my check yet.
My agent called your agent a million times.
My father
dude.
is on the phone
Yes,
now.
could somebody bring some
My
clarity
father,
to this?
if my father gets on the phone, you know he must be worked up.
I don't know what's happening.
Dad, what's happening here?
Oh, look, first of all, I'm exhausted. I've been listening to this friends, with this hot weather. No, I just want to give my 2 cents. I see 2 people who have different modes of operation.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So that's the whole argument. So one man has one operation and the other guy has another operation. Nobody decided beforehand how the operations would gel. So now you find there was a mistake because one guy didn't know how the other guy felt. So all you have to do, each one of you say, look,
In the future, this won't happen. It was a mistake. I'm sorry it happened. I was in business with 3 other guys, 4 partners. And if we didn't use this philosophy, we would never stay.
You'd have been like this every day.
Now, Dad, when you were in the recording business, I remember people would record,
Yes.
and then some months later they would pay you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a different kind of business. That's not a direct thing. I wouldn't even, you
Not
have an
comparable.
account.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I also don't think it's worth destroying the friendship we're building and what went on in that crowd. I mean, that crowd was one of the most intense crowds I've been in front of years, and I do feel it had a lot to do with me and Artie together.
All right, so this was
instead of fighting.
Dad, you're saying this is a difference of business practice.
Listen, just to give you an example, I mean, how to handle things. Well, there's Barry Bonds and Giambi. Giambi went to the court. He told the truth. The other guy's boozing around in the bush. Now, what do you have here? Giambi now is a big hero in Yankee Stadium. He's doing great, and nobody's looking to get him. They're not investigating him. So the whole idea is you got to come forth and say it was a mistake, and in the future it's not going to operate that way. This is the way it operates. As long as the 2 of you were successful together, the other thing is chicken shit.
Yeah, well, that's how I felt. That's why I keep going. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
I guess Artie is feeling sensitive because he's the guy still without the $5,000, and I understand that.
Ben, do you think Artie is overreacting?
No.
No?
I don't.
I disagree.
I don't.
You know why
disagree.
I don't think Artie's? Let me tell you what my.
All right.
Feeling. Artie's not overreacting. He wasn't told that this is
That's
the
right.
operation that he has.
Artie
Now,
has a
on the other
different way.
hand-
But Mr. Stern, that was not agreed to beforehand. If there was one thing where Dice said, certainly, Artie, you're going to get your money there that night, and then he stiffed him, that's another situation.
Right.
But nobody talked about it.
Okay,
so Dice wasn't necessarily in the wrong, and neither was Artie.
Okay, so
I agree with you on the point that they didn't talk about it. That's the only thing I agree about.
Well, I think what your dad's saying, Howard, is let's put that behind us. Now
That's
when we
right.
do another gig, all right, if you whatever the money is, you get that up front. If that's how you want to get paid, and we just continue. The point is that it was so phenomenal. That gig was so phenomenal. It would be stupid for us not to keep going.
All right. Dad, thank you. One last thing. Go ahead. Yes.
What?
I believe in the bottom line on any situation. I always trust the bottom line. The bottom line is the future. You 2 guys, if you both agree, you're great together, you're going to be successful together, that's important.
Artie doesn't want to be together.
Artie doesn't
That's
like
the
this.
thing here.
That's a whole other
Listen,
thing.
Artie, go ahead.
Here's the point. If you we know a lot of comedians. Get them on the phone. See how the comedy business works. I want to know.
Let me do that for you.
I want to know. I want to know how long they've waited for checks.
All right,
after.
Dad, thank you.
I have never seen this much craziness over the check.
Artie, you're right. I mean, this is ludicrous. It shouldn't be that.
That's why I said it's an overreaction. There's something else here.
Yeah. No. You see, if he's operating in a ludicrous way, that's not satisfying to you. He's wrong, and you also don't accept his way of operating. So you're wrong. So in other words, it's past that point.
Right.
Listen, I'm admitting I'm not going to make anything up. Nothing was discussed. I never said to Dice, "Look, I expect this money tonight." He never promised that to me. But we're in the same business, and I'm saying there's sort of. I've been doing comedy a long time. You get paid usually, if not that night, within a couple of days. So it's been 10 days, and this conversation started with me going, Dice, when am I going to get the check? And then as it rolled on, Dice claimed he made a phone call, which I didn't get.
Wait a minute. Wait, say that again. I missed that.
All right. Wait, let me hang up on my phone. Dad, thank you.
Okay, I'm getting off.
All right, thank you. I hear what Artie's saying. He's saying it's common practice in the comedy business to be paid that night or within 2 or 3 days.
But maybe Dice has a different operation.
No, it's not even a different operation. If I have, you know what? If I have like just a regular opening act, okay, which I don't consider Artie, and I didn't consider him. Once again, I'm saying this as an opening act. He wasn't considered that way. We had a guy. We had the boy Jameson open. If I got a guy like that, Jameson doesn't get close to what I paid Artie, so I just take care of him.
Bob Levy's on the phone. Bob, you're a comic.
I'll do it for $50.
Tell us what's going on.
First of all, Ralph is an idiot. Okay. Second of all,
Thank
you
you.
get paid that night. Whenever me and Artie did gigs, we would tell the promoters to have the check there that night. There's no thinking about anything else. We're not going to get sent a check. We're working at night. We're going to get paid that.
Bob, what's the longest? You've been doing stand-up for years. What's the longest you ever waited for a check?
I would have him overnighted if I didn't have it there that day.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm not a promoter. I'm a comic, so I got the check from the hotel. I keep the check.
But Dice, if you got half the money from the hotel, why not give me half my money that
How am I
night?
going to get it? Should I rip the check in half?
Just write a check out.
Have a check ready. Or tell the promoter, make out half to Artie.
No, but listen to me. If I would have known you wanted it that night, if it was discussed at all, it just would have been handled.
All right, listen. We can't go on with this all day. I'm sorry you guys have this going on. Artie, I understand from Dice what he's saying. Your check is in the mail.
Right.
That's it. It was handled. It's handled the day I came home.
Dice, it would be great if the check would bounce.
But Artie
That
feels
would be
insulted
phenomenal.
some way.
No, I don't feel insulted. I feel he's not admitting to lying that he called me in the middle of the week.
Listen, everything went so good, and you're turning something that went so good into something bad, and it shouldn't be.
No. I'm not turning this into anything bad, Dice. All I asked at the beginning was, I haven't gotten paid yet. When am I getting the check? And then a conversation started, and a couple of things happened in that conversation that got
Dice's
me
answer
aggravated.
is your check is coming within a day or two.
But I'm calmed down again.
All right.
Me too.
All right, here's the answer.
But the big eye opener is, for the last 4 years, I've sat down with my agent. I did 5,000 people in Philly once, and I said, listen, how do we get Ralph Sorella to a gig?
Oh.
How do we get Ralph to come?
Ralph, you seem to have really ticked Artie off more than
I
anything.
think I figured it out now.
What?
Here's the problem. The reason, and I think everybody agrees, Artie is overreacting. Robin's saying it, Fred's saying it, but you're going to attack me. That's okay, Artie.
I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you.
I think Artie needs distractions in his life to make himself miserable, whether he's fucking up his relationship with Dana, whether he's eating himself to death, whether he's getting mad that he didn't get $5,000. He needs something to be upset and distracted
He was.
about.
Ralph, how much longer should I wait for the $100 you owe me?
You're going to be waiting forever.
I know, of course I will. And we just have to accept the fact that...
What is with that, Ralph? Why do you owe him $100 and you're not paying him?
Artie put in a bet for me. I lost the bet.
You owe him $100.
I lost the bet with Will, too. And I said, Will, just pay him the money because I wasn't at the
Will, please come in here. Please come in here.
Why should Will have to be responsible for your debt?
I'm going to go ask Will, who hardly makes any money.
Artie, I'll be in Thursday. I'll pay you Thursday, okay?
That ain't happening.
All right, so that...
2 years.
Well, you know, you want
This
answer
whole
it,
thing
too?
is crazy to me. I got to be honest. Just listening to this whole thing.
Well,
I don't understand why you couldn't just call me and go, I didn't get my check yet.
I did call you. My agent called your agent. I knew you were on the road, and I was on the road, so I figured the agents would
The
deal
answer
with it.
to your question, let's get back to it. The answer to Artie's question as to when he is going to be paid is, I would estimate that if Dice sent the check yesterday, I don't know if he FedExed
How was it sent?
How was it sent, Dice?
Who cut it?
I called my accountant and I said, cut a check to this guy and first I got the agent's number. I called the accountant. I said, this is his agent's number. What is it? Am I right with his first name?
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right. So you at least know I know that. I said, this is his name. Call him up now and send the check.
All right, so the check...
So you found the number that you
I also
lost.
paid the road manager. I also
Dice, you told me you lost the agent's number.
What's that?
You told me you lost my agent's number. Where'd you get it from
I did lose
again?
the agent's number, and I went through a million papers that I got on the road. It was written on a little piece of paper. I found it, and I called my accountant. What is this, a fucking murder trial?
No, you're lying, Dice, and you're backpedaling.
Oh, my God.
I have no reason to lie. What is wrong with you?
Well, why would you say you said you lost my agent's number?
Yes, I lost the little piece of paper you wrote.
And then
it
you
on,
found
right?
it again.
So, as you know, when you're on
Would
the
you
road,
pray to St. Anthony?
You collect all kinds of papers, okay? So I went through all of them.
I'm wearing my
found
medal.
it.
Maybe he used this.
You know what? But yesterday was also the first time I'm even hearing about this.
Ross Zapin wants to come in and defend you, Dice.
Good.
Bring him in then.
All right, let's hear what he has to say. This is
the craziest.
This is what happens sometimes.
For $100.
Look, I'm here to defend both of you guys. I think the biggest mistake here was you guys are talent. You've done shows before. Your representative should have called his representative and kept the two of you out of
But
it.
Ross, they did. My agent called his. I get my agent.
but you want to
on the
know
phone
something?
now.
You also let me tell you this, Artie, and it's something I won't discuss on the air. There are some problems right now with my particular agent, so I haven't even talked to him. Okay, he actually did call me yesterday, and I didn't call him back yet because of something else going on. okay, which has nothing to do with you.
All right, well, we won't get into that. Fine.
Ross, I want
to. I got to say this. I believe your agent called him. I just haven't talked to my guy yet.
Ross
but in the meantime, without any of that, I still called my accountant and I took care of all my bills and all the guys I had to pay.
Ross Sapin, I want to thank you for nothing. You clarified nothing.
No. But I made the point. But let me go back. But if
I got to say this about Ross. See, I talked to Ross and I told Ross how incredible that show went, and he was happy to hear it because he was even smart enough to go, you know what? You two teaming up is an incredible.
He was even smart enough.
But wait a second. I just want to roll back.
I've never heard that before.
Wait,
Nobody's ever called Ross.
And Ross, who are you again?
I'm nobody.
Ross, who are you again? Just so people know. Well, what is your title here?
Vice President Promotions, Event Marketing.
All right, so this is a guy who knows something about
it. But I have to, my previous history was I booked Dice when I worked for a concert promoter, and I've been in the business. Now I know you're closer to it, Artie.
Howard, I'm going to say this just to let people know who Ross is. When I first came into New York, before I ever even did your show, okay, before I even went on your show ever for the first time, I'm talking years ago, Ross was the first guy to bring me into New York and put me in contact.
All right, absolutely.
He was working with Rondell's.
All right,
That's
this
right.
is a man who knows.
All right, listen. Here, let me sum this up. Wait, I got to get out of this for a second. So let me sum it up. I think I can
I
help.
don't think you can.
No, I think I can.
Can't be done.
Let me help.
Feels like he's responsible for the show.
Artie has a way of doing business. It's like my father said. Artie has a way of doing business. He's been in the nightclub business for his whole life, ever since he stopped being a longshoreman.
But this was a minor mistake. He is acting as if Dice killed his brother.
He understands it was a different way of doing business, but he feels what's compounded it is a series of statements that is infuriating him.
Ugh.
I think he had an axe to grind.
Am I right, Artie?
Before this even happened.
No, honestly, Fred, I didn't. I was very calm at the beginning.
Artie thought that he should be paid.
You want to know something? Here's three things. Number one, I think Artie thinks he was underpaid.
Right.
I think
don't think that's it.
Let me finish.
That.
That's number one. Number two, I think he thinks he sold it out. Dice has a different opinion.
I don't think
Number
that's
three,
it.
the third compounding factor is he didn't get paid. So if he thinks he's underpaid and he thinks he sold it out and he didn't get paid, he's coming in with an axe to grind.
Right.
And I have one question for Artie. When Dice asked you that day to do the gig, were you actually happy that he asked you, or did you feel like you were put on a spot and you didn't know how to say no?
No, I was happy to work with him.
But
absolutely.
Did you have any misgivings about doing it, especially since you had another gig coming up and it was kind of bad timing?
The scheduling was a problem, but no, I love the opportunity to work with him. No, definitely, I was happy to work with him.
But it was also a great opportunity to see how that show came off, right?
Yeah,
right
it was
and the show
great.
came off phenomenal.
I don't think
the problem. I think Fred is wrong. The problem is Artie expected to be paid that night.
But shouldn't that have been communicated up front?
Yes, it was a miscommunication.
Yeah, you're right. I did not
Artie
communicate
thinks
that.
That's something that should be known. It's not something you need to teach
Not
another
even that.
comic.
Not
But should
even
Artie
that.
have to? But should Artie have to communicate that to Dice? Should Artie's agent have said up front, "Hey, this is what the deal is"?
Artie thought that that's something that comics know. That's what he thought.
That's ridiculous.
But Dice has been doing
Not ridiculous.
It is ridiculous to think somebody knows
It's a
something.
misunderstanding between two guys.
And then to carry on like this.
No, it's compounding because things are being said.
What's be?
Let me ask you a question.
What really got
Artie's
me mad
being
was
a little
Dice said he
insulted.
called me in the middle of the week, and he did.
But he says he did. Is he going to lie about
I'll
it?
tell you what's stupid. I'll tell you what's stupid. See, we're having an argument today, Artie, and when I left that gig, all I'm thinking of is where do we go next? What's the bigger venue we play, okay? Now, of course, we could both do our own gigs separately, but you there?
Yeah. Where would I go?
He's left.
No, because I'm on the fucking phone, okay? But this is what happens, and I don't know who put anything in your ear. This is what I spoke to Howard when I first came in about our fight, that other people get in between shit and say shit, and by the time we even hooked up today, we're both fucking yelling. That's what happens, and it's bullshit. So if I'm telling you I called you, I called you. And if you didn't get the message, I'm sorry you didn't get the message. But the bottom line is, I'm at least man enough, I say, you know what? If I knew you wanted it that night, it would have been handled. I didn't know it. I took care of it like I always do at the end of a trip. I take care of all my business. I always have with anybody that's ever worked for me. I've never had any problems. What's going to be fucked up is if we don't do more shows, because then other people out there go, look at this, they did one fucking show, and it falls the fuck apart.
All right, look, we got to move on. Guys,
But when you're sitting there on the phone also and going, yeah, you want me to do the shows because I'll plug them. Of course I want you to plug them. Who the fuck should I hire? Some guy that just got on at Catch a Rising Star and did 3 minutes? You want two guys that could go out there, because I'm not looking to do Borgata. I'm looking to do the biggest fucking stadiums in the country. And I turned around to you after that show and I said, I want you to do it with me. That's what's fucked up if you don't. Not the 5,000. The 5,000 is fucking chicken feed compared to what you're going to be fucking making. Now, you could do these fucking clubs and make whatever you make for a weekend, or you could go to the very fucking top. Do you know what's happened since that show? My fucking show got picked up on. I got offered a show on. That I say, you know who I want on the show with me? Artie fucking Lang. That's the only name I put out there.
All right, well, there it is.
No, but I'm telling you, Howard, this is...
I am sad. I am sad that it's gotten...
Dice has convinced me. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Whenever I get the check, I'll be fine, man.
Artie says you can send it whatever you want.
Don't even send the check.
Dice.
As a matter of fact, I don't want the money.
Wait, Dice.
And Ralph, I don't want the 100 either, because you know what? I don't need it.
Right.
I don't need it. I didn't need the money I made at the Pittsburgh Funny Bone either, but you know what? I took it. I said, what the fuck?
Yeah. Why'd you take that?
I don't know.
You don't want to listen.
Why did the guy in Pittsburgh write me a check that night? I go, you know what? I don't need this money. Put it in your account for a month.
I just take care of it the way I take care of it. If you wanted it different, why do we got to keep rehashing that when we can move so far forward?
Right. Yeah,
We're
right.
going to do
Dice,
such
here's
big
what I'm
things.
gonna-
I'll be on your show, and we'll play Giant Stadium in November. That'll be great. Good,
And what do you think? It's not going to happen?
Dice.
I
want you, Dice.
And Howard knows how I am, because we're both fucking goal-driven.
Dice.
What?
When you come back to New York, you come in here. We'll have face to face. You guys will
Break
be able
a
to
little bread.
You guys
for
will break
each
bread.
other.
I'm not mad at him. I just don't understand what this.
Who knows?
I understand why you felt like you were expecting it that night. Okay, so I fucked that up.
Not even that night. Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday.
All right, here's High Pitch Eric.
sound like a guy from The Sopranos.
Here's High Pitch Eric. Let's see what.
Maybe that's what I am, Robin. I don't come from much. I'll admit it. Maybe I'm a simpleton.
All right,
I like
go
to get paid.
Let's go to High Pitch Eric.
I'm not M. Night Shyamalan's kids with creatures in the pool.
Yes, High Pitch Eric.
Who?
Hey, Andrew Dice Clay, how are you?
Who? What'd you just say, Howard?
High Pitch Eric.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Pitch Eric. Listen, you're a fucking dick. You're a cocksucker.
Oh, this
Oh,
guy's
please.
got nothing to stand on.
Yeah, he's just got nothing to say.
Well, if someone calls up to defend me, Dice will just go,
Wait,
who are you?
Isn't this the guy that rips off limo drivers?
I'll listen to a guy.
Who are you zero?
You know, well, no, that guy started off the conversation just pissing on me. Why,
Right.
Why should I fucking
That wasn't
stand
fair.
for
That wasn't
somebody
fair.
that's
Whoa,
never
that's
done
not
shit?
fair.
Well, they shouldn't piss on
Artie,
you either.
you could say something if you don't like what's being said.
No,
I am, and apparently I'm overreacting.
All right, hey, you know what's happening? It's getting blown out.
It's crazy.
Agree to disagree.
I haven't liked a lot of things that have been said, and when I say something, I get Mary everybody go, you're an unhappy person.
What's that got to do with anything?
God, annoying cunt. Look,
All right,
guys,
look.
listen, whenever I get the cash is fine. And that's it. And I'm sorry to have expected the money within 10 days. That was my mistake.
I want to know if you spoke to your agent.
I speak to my agent almost every day.
That's not the question.
About what? Yeah, I talked to my agent. I said,
You spoke to him
when I
yesterday.
got to Pittsburgh, I called my agent and said,
no, no,
listen,
no. Did
Dice
you-
wasn't able to pay me Friday. Could you
hear the
call his
question
agent
and give
and
a
find
straight
out what's going on? That's what happened.
Why can't you hear the question and give a straight answer?
What? Go
You
ahead.
talked to your agent yesterday.
Yes.
Did he tell you he had a long conversation with me?
He told me he talked to you, yeah.
And did he tell you what it was about?
He didn't get into details because it was late at night. He told me he talked to you, and he told me that you were going to cut a check.
Maybe you should talk to him and get into it with him and not be so mad at me because
I'm not mad at you.
Well, what was the yelling about? Happiness?
Yeah, you sound
No, you're saying things that are like a little confusing.
No,
to tell you the
I will
truth.
tell you this. He called me, left me a message Sunday night, said, hey, I'm back in town. Give me a call.
Right.
I know for a fact from the day he came to do the show here to the Borgata to Florida, back to Vegas, back to LA, he was not in town.
He just got home.
He just got home Sunday night. He called yesterday. Coincidence that you happened to come up in a conversation yesterday, didn't get paid? I doubt it, but okay, maybe. But he just got back to town, and he was writing you the check yesterday. In fact, I told him to just send the paper bag here with $5,000 cash,
All right,
but that
Ross,
was too late.
listen.
I got to get on a plane to throw him.
All right,
No,
listen,
no, I
Dice,
just so
Dice,
Dice,
thank you.
if you had gone on a 3-month trip to India,
Artie.
would I have gotten my money in 3
You
months?
got your money sooner than that. It would have took 2 months.
All right, here's
No, but come on, why can't we put this behind?
let's
Come
put it.
on
You,
now.
does anyone?
He now knows what you expect.
Listen, I just admitted I'm wrong. You're right in this whole thing. I'm sorry for bringing it up.
All right, so we doing the gig or what?
What gig?
The gig.
There's no gig on the books right now.
All right, listen, you
Can
two
you
better.
talk about the gig?
I want you guys to talk about this in person, not
All right,
not
we
on
will,
the phone.
We will, but
All right.
did you get my message yesterday?
Did he,
Yes or
did
no?
he call you yesterday?
Yeah, did I
Yeah,
call
you did.
yesterday?
You called me yesterday, yeah.
So why didn't you call me back?
Because I thought it would be funnier to do this on the air.
No, but I didn't want to talk to you about. I would have talked to you about this on the air. But
What?
I had other things I had to know yesterday.
Like what? What do you want to know?
I can't talk about it on the air.
All right.
All right, Jessica Hahn, what do you want to add to this?
Who, me? Howard, I think, Dice, you are so full of crap. You call Artie in the middle of the night when you're on Ativan. Suddenly you can't call him. Artie just wants to get paid, and you get...
Not Ativan.
Whatever. And you're...
Well, why don't you have your facts straight?
Full of shit. You've
No,
always-
if you know why
Dice, what were you on?
Here's
when
where
you called?
Dice cuts off people who were trying to defend.
Ambien.
What's the big deal? He wants to get paid. He did it. Just
Did you listen to the whole conversation, honey?
Full of crap. You go through these long speeches about how big you are and how Artie didn't sell seats.
Yeah, and who am I even talking to here? Once
Jessica
again,
Hahn.
Somebody with tits thinks they got a brain all of a
You
sudden.
knew Sam Kennison was a better comic than you ever were.
Well, what are we bringing
You know what?
that
I
up?
love Kennison. All right?
All right, listen, Dice.
Again, let's not attack Dice. That's not what this is
Yeah,
about.
no, that's not.
No,
that's not
we shouldn't
about
attack you, and we shouldn't attack Dice. This is a money.
When did Artie get attacked?
Artie. Artie.
No one attacked me. I didn't say anybody
talking to
attacked me.
people, but he puts these dummies on.
All right, can I say something?
I'm not in charge of the phones.
Can I say
Who's in
something?
charge of the phone?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Artie.
I love when it gets quiet.
Yeah, I know, it scares me.
It's all of a sudden. What?
It's beautiful.
Artie.
Who's there?
I think it's insulting that you want any money.
I agree with you, Howard. I agree with you,
You know
man.
what, Howard?
He
He
said
really.
it wasn't
I don't
about
need the
the
$5
money.
grand.
You really
You're right,
don't.
I don't need
You
it.
live in Jersey by yourself. You don't even have a girlfriend anymore.
I got enough money.
You got a lot of money.
Yeah, I got enough
I
money.
understand where he's coming from, Howard, and to me, it's just miscommunication.
No, Dice, I'm going to settle this. Artie, you owe Dice $3,000.
I'll get it to you next week.
All right, now the money's coming.
You got 10 days.
Yeah, the money will be there this week, obviously.
All right, that's good. And then you guys will discuss your relationship moving forward.
Actually, before you mail it, I'll be in L.A. tonight. I'll come get it from you.
Are you really going to be here tonight?
I'll be there tonight, yeah.
Where are you going to be?
I'll be at a hotel
Show up
in
with the money.
Hollywood.
Announce where you'll be so
time are you
everyone
gonna
can
be
come
here?
see
What do you
you.
want me to tell you? Huh?
No, if you're going to be here, I need to see you.
Well, I'll be working the whole time I'm there, but
No, but I need to see you personally.
well, come where I'm working then.
Do you want to be paid up front for that?
How
No,
much
serious.
to see you?
How long
Artie
I
is
know
shooting.
You're coming in for that entourage.
Yes,
Right,
Artie is
right.
shooting an episode of Entourage.
All right, we can't. Not on the set.
Yeah. All
Because
right.
if I come to the set, it creates mania.
You don't want to steal Artie's moment?
Yeah, I don't. Howard. You know, Howard understands. This
All right.
kind of shit.
All right. Listen, I'm going to let you guys work
You're right.
this out.
I'm wrong. I'm the asshole.
All right,
I'm the guy that don't
I got
get
to
it.
take
I'm
a
glad you
break.
finally came to your senses.
Yeah.
All right. Artie admits he's an asshole.
I admit this was completely out of line.
How
man.
dare you?
All right, but when you come here,
Thank you.
serious, I want you
All
to
right.
call me.
That'll be good. You guys will get
You're
together.
going to call Dice when you get to L.A.
That's all. All right.
I'll
Guys,
call you,
thank
Dice.
Dice Clay, thank you. Andrew Dice Clay, the
All
great
right,
Andrew Dice
I'm
Clay, the
sorry,
great
Artie.
Artie Lang. Thank you very
I'll talk
much.
to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Oof.
It's good. You owe Dice money now.
I hope he doesn't need it.
That was beautiful.
Well, you take your time paying it back.
That was fucking beautiful.
You guys are crazy.
That was beautiful.
I mean, money's money, man. I mean,
But you said it wasn't even about the money.
Right.
Yes, it was. It was about when I
Of course
was
it is.
getting paid the money.
No, he said when he took the gig, you wouldn't even have to pay me.
Right, but he offered me
now that
money,
you're
Rob. What am I
paying-
supposed to say? I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll take the money.
Never seen anything like it.
Everyone's counting up Artie's money.
Nobody's counting Artie's money.
Everyone's counting Artie's money.
I wasn't counting Artie's money.
I wasn't either.
I simply heard the screams, and I thought, my goodness.
Wants to be paid.
I got
Wants
aggravated.
respect.
I mean, I know he said he called me, and look, I have no way of proving he didn't. He did not call me. So once he started with that, I'm like, okay, where's
Why
he
would
even?
he
if he's
lie?
Robin, I don't know. That's what I
It's
was
not your
asking
problem.
myself.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm like going, okay, where's he going with this?
It's becoming too much of a problem.
I don't think you two.
Look at me. Look at me. You know, arguing is good for you, and I'm going to tell you why. You didn't eat through that whole thing.
That's right. That's
You haven't
true.
even eaten.
Maybe
I was
you should
drinking.
argue all day.
I was drinking soda throughout the whole thing.
That's good. You didn't miss a meal. You didn't miss a calorie.
Yeah. And the argument's over, and I still don't have the $5 grand. But you know, whenever I get it, it'll be fine.
You
Because
don't
I
believe-
don't.
And
Wait a
I'll tell
minute.
you something else.
I don't need it.
I'm going to tell you something else. I still don't think the $5 grand check has been cut yet.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think the check is in the mail?
Howard,
You know what? You check the date.
Howard, here's what. When he lied about the phone call, and again, I have no way of proving he lied, but believe me, he lied, guys. I'm your friend here. I've never bullshitted you. I never got a phone call from the guy.
Okay.
I'm starting to say, okay, if he's bullshitting about that, where is it going to end? So in my head, I overreacted.
But
I got
think
hot-headed about the
you
fact
got
that
hot-headed,
he's
but-
bullshitting me, and I agree with Howard that I don't think the check's cut yet either.
I agree with my father one thing he said.
Your
And this-
father was right. We did not agree on
Right.
anything.
He has a different way.
And
of
I'll
doing it.
admit that. I'm not bullshitting anybody.
Yeah, his way of doing business is not to pay.
But Artie doesn't want any bullshit. All right. And as far as that Ralph goes, Ralph, shame on you.
Right around the same week that I made a bet with Artie, I made a bet with Will.
That has nothing to do with
That's
Artie.
not Artie's problem.
Wait.
It's not Artie's
Just
problem.
Listen to me. Just hear me out. So I said, Will, you see Artie every day. I'm not there every day. I was hardly ever there at that station. I said, just pay Artie
Yeah,
for
and
me.
Will
Wait a
didn't.
minute. How long ago was this?
2 years.
2 years.
But then
And you haven't run into Artie since then.
But Ralph,
I've been away.
Ralph, Will is not Artie's responsibility.
I've been away on business. I'm calling my accountant. I just got back.
see, Ralph, now you're getting funny.
Now, that doesn't work for you.
What
But
is
Ralph,
it?
what
The
about
other
the
thing-
other $50?
Right,
still?
that's the other thing he's leaving out.
100, Will.
What?
It's 100.
No, it wasn't. That's bullshit. You just admitted off the air it was $50.
I did not.
So it was half the money, and that shouldn't be Artie's problem anyway.
It shouldn't be.
So
I'm going to come over and beat your ass and get the money. I forgot about it. Artie, you'll have your money today.
Ralph, listen, I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to embarrass you. I'm like, fine, there's an issue. He doesn't want to give me
Believe
this
I'm
money.
not embarrassed. I'm really not embarrassed.
That's the real
All right,
problem.
thank you. You know what, Artie? I try to help.
I love that Ralph goes, Artie, did I ever ask to go to one of your shows until you're in I'm like,
Another insult.
did I ever ask to go to one of your shows?
You were in
He was
Portland
going to let you go.
see you.
He wanted a free ticket. And,
Of course he did.
And he said, did I ever ask? What an honor.
Did I ever let you give me a ticket?
Did I ever
before?
try to mooch off you before?
Yeah.
Before you started working with
Did
Dice?
I ever ask to go to one of your shows? It's like I'm going to go, wow, no,
Yeah,
Jesus.
it might have been a good argument if he was paying for a ticket.
Whatever.
Yeah, you know. Look.
I'll get the money
I'm
when
glad you and Dice talked it out.
Right.
I believe you will.
You,
get the
you
money.
feel resolved, Artie?
He clearly cut a check, and it's on its way.
Maybe.
Howard, do you think he cut a check?
It slipped
I don't
my
think it's been
mind.
cut yet.
You don't think it's been cut yet?
No.
So you're going on record as saying that?
Yes.
Okay. So you calling Dice a liar?
All right, let's have a bet.
I'm
All
saying
right,
Dice.
when-
No, I'm not calling
when-
Dice a liar. I'm saying that Dice now has called his accountant. But you know, accountants. He's going to drop everything and write you a check?
What
He's gonna-
about the
You'll get a check within a week, I'd say.
Within a week.
Yeah.
Anybody say it's going to be longer than another week?
No, he'll get it.
Now, what
within a
about
week.
the fact that anyone else here that I gave him my agent's number that night and then he said he lost it?
Well, he didn't say he lost it forever.
He lost it temporarily.
Oh. Another misunderstanding.
Is it possible Dice is such a genius that he delayed payment just to get this whole conversation
Yeah, to
going?
get some more plugs.
I doubt it.
All right, look.
By the way, his act is great. He did a great job. He's hilarious. You should go see him. But you know, our future together is, questionable.
Really, you're that bad off about this situation?
I've been offered another gig. That's a very exciting thing for me. Actually, that's a very big venue that I can't announce yet, but it requires where I'd headline for. Really good money, and it requires me not working in the New York area for a couple months before or after.
But why good money? I mean, you don't need the money.
Well, and I told these people now that they know.
Paid?
See, now that the promoters out there have heard that I'm a fucking fag that you can step over and just go, look, Artie don't need the money.
But Dice is going to take you to the top, so why would you?
Don't worry about it.
Now I understand.
Yeah, now
it was the promoters.
Look.
Yeah, everybody out there now knows that Artie's a fucking pansy-ass prick.
Yeah.
Well, you could just say, no, you don't need
honestly,
the money.
What I really do think happened, and I think my dad hit it on the head. Dice has his way of doing business. You have your way of doing business. The two clashed. You wanted an answer. You were having. It was insulting. You weren't getting your answer. It's embarrassing that you have to ask for it. And now I think it will be straightened out. I really do think Dice is sending you a check.
I also thought it was interesting that they were on a face-to-face, we're going to do this gig together basis. And then all of a sudden the agents were involved.
Wait, I bet you Dice is going to come down to the set.
Well, I mean,
no, he said not on the set.
No, he'll be there.
It's a closed set.
I don't care. He's going to find a way in.
You think they'll rough him up if he shows up?
He's like Freddy Krueger. He's just going to show up.
Will the bouncers take care
He's
of
like
him?
Jason with
You
the
better
mask.
show up. You better show up with my $5,000.
Oh, jeez. You're not talking till you see money. Okay.
All of a sudden, I got to worry about fucking making Dice Clay a star now.
Oh.
Ooh.
See, I knew
No
that
need
was
for
what
that.
it was. I knew it.
It's just no. In a way, it's just patronizing. He's like, you're a great performer. No, I got a way to plug these shows on the Howard Stern show. So I'm like, well, and just come to me and say that. You know that's a man.
I
That's-
didn't
that's
get
honest.
that part.
Me either.
By the way, you are a great performer, and he wouldn't hook up with you
If you were some
shitty.
slouch. He
Well,
could have hooked up
never
with
saw-
Sal and Richard.
But he never saw me do stand up.
No, but I think he was pleased with what you did, and as you were pleased with him. Stop it. Take a sip of your soda.
This is the part where I was saying we got crazy Artie involved here.
What kind of soda are you drinking, pal?
Pepsi.
Pepsi. All right.
Maybe you ought to switch to Coke.
Pepsi's jacking
I'll
you up.
drink whatever's fucking there. I'll river dirt, you cocksucker.
What if Dice airdrops himself into the set of Entourage? Find you. All right, listen. And I think, by the way, I know Dice was getting into the physical intimidation thing about being in the same room.
Fuck that.
I know one thing about you, my friend. You can fight.
Can he?
It was all county.
Yeah.
Have you seen him fight?
Weren't you in all county?
All county third
I was a
baseman.
baseball player. That doesn't mean you can
Could hit him with a bat.
But no. But the thing is, like I've been in bar fights. I'm not sane when I lose my temper.
Yeah, you're not
So
dealing.
put it this way: if we ever got into a physical confrontation, he might kick my ass, but he's gonna have to kick my ass.
Yeah, it's not going to go. It's not going to happen easily.
You're not backing down.
No. It'll be a fight.
He would have to sucker punch you.
No, there would be a confrontation.
There would be.
Because I don't want anybody fucking with me and my living. You know, this is I mean, and then if he's gonna, I mean, you know, you're right. It's physical. I mean, I'm not scared of him as a fighter. He wants to fight me. We'll fucking fight.
Gee,
Jeez, I love you.
boxing
What
match.
a nutcase he is.
I love it.
I am. I'm a little nuts, Robin. I really am. I'm out of my mind.
Oh, you're too beautiful.
I mean, I've ruined a lot of
What do you
great
think-
shit in my life.
All right, let's take a break. Everyone calm down, and that's it.